It's here, it's happened, we have a massive patch to go over. Lords of the Fallen has just released patch 1.1.249, which is the pumpkin patch. And on top of the patch, they have turned this into a Halloween event as well, which I am incredibly impressed by. Typically, you do not see events from video games right after they launch. They typically spend a ton of time fixing the game and then work on that stuff next year. So we have a ton of stuff to go over. Let me jump right into it. The first and foremost thing you need to know is that there is a event going on, the pumpkin patch. This is going to be active until November 2nd, meaning you have until November 2nd to get everything out of this patch that you can. And what I mean by that is there is a riddle found in the patch notes right here on the screen that is going to tell you exactly what you need to do, kind of. It's going to give you a few different odds and ends in a riddle of places that you need to go while you are in Lords of the Fallen. I am assuming by this riddle that it is going to have us fight a very large boss in Umbral in order for us to get this helmet that is appearing on the patch notes. This is a really awesome event. I'm very excited to get into this, and I've been scouring the internet and have not found anybody who knows anything about it so far, so people are still viciously looking to get this event underway and figure out how to get the items that we need. The riddle reads, one dwells amidst the company of the celebrated dead, another in a lonely hamlet where the streets ran red, one's to be found where the bitter sacrifice dwell, another is in a place where the innocent girl fell. One demands from you a head for heights, only then can you face a shadow by beacon's light. Steel yourself in the garb of one who speaks not, and hope that in the bleak ground your bones do not rot. This is incredible. I'm super excited to get into this and for the community to start figuring out what the heck we're even supposed to do, but this is a thing, this is live, this is happening currently, so get into Axiom and Umbral and try to figure these things out, and leave it down in the comments below once you start figuring stuff out so we can figure out what we need to do next. Now, as far as the changes that have come into this patch, they have done changes to crossplay, new game plus improvements, enemy density, performance and stability, progression loss. They have addressed all the things they said they were going to, and now we are going to jump into that. Now, I went over the pre-patch news a few days ago, so I will leave that video linked down in the description so you guys can check it out, and I'm going to go over what they've actually changed and what they're going to be doing coming up. The first and foremost is Season of the Bleak, obviously is a Halloween event, and they've also added some Halloween decorations around Axiom to get the player more immersed in the actual event. As far as performance goes, they've improved some performance at Skyrest Bridge to achieve a smoother frame rate. I know I was having a ton of problems there, and that was really one of the only places that my game was crashing and or having such bad frame rate I had to reset, so I'm glad that they fixed that. As far as stability goes, they've increased the game thread amount using old quad-core CPUs to fix loading issues when spawning, resting, or warping, potentially fixes 2% of the remaining crashes on Sentry, which is awesome. New Game Plus, now the Vestige menu will clearly show both options, either New Game Plus 1 or Restart New Game 0, which is super helpful. I know a lot of people were complaining about the lack of clarity with those choices, and after completing the game once, players can now restart the current new game anytime, even if they haven't finished the game. That's massive. I've never heard of a Souls-like doing that before, so that's a huge step in the right direction. When it comes to balancing issues they were having in the game, they've added and adjusted some bosses' defenses and lowered their health. I know that health was a massive thing when it came to the first rendition of this game. There was a ton of boss health and you didn't do a whole lot of damage, so you were fighting bosses for 15 minutes and not killing them. So that's awesome that they've adjusted that. And they've also fixed those things and balanced them out in New Game Plus with the health multipliers as well. This is going to ensure a consistent New Game Plus experience, so I'm really excited that they want the longevity of the game to be something that people want to come back to over and over again. Now, as far as some other things they said they were going to be working on, we have the enemy density. They said they made an initial pass of the entire game and have completed and rebalanced enemy encounters, areas that players found most overwhelming, and overall just made things not as crazy and hectic when you go into encounters with multiple enemies, because we were getting swarmed and at some point it's a little too much. But they do want to remind you that in New Game Plus 1, everything is pretty much the same because they want it to remain hard and difficult, which is understandable for new game. And finally, we have the crossplay debacle that is now fixed. Crossplay is now back. Everything is working as intended on Steam, Epic, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and the Steam Deck. You access this the exact same way you would in Elden Ring or Dark Souls with a password that you can give to your friends, and they can join your game with no problem. This is definitely a massive step for CI games to go through and do all of this so quickly. This is definitely really exciting, and I was very much looking forward to getting some crossplay under my belt, so I am really stoked to get into some crossplay with my friends, and now it is possible on literally every single platform. But guys, that is it for the patch notes. I'm super happy that they came through and they did all of this. CI Games has been absolutely blowing us away, I feel, with the amount of dedication that they are showing to their game and how much they want people to play it and enjoy it. So with that being said, guys, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Are you a fan of the event? Are you a fan of the changes that are being made? Or are you overall done with the game altogether and you think it's beyond saving? So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching to the end of the video. If you like the content, feel free to subscribe, hit the bell notification so you can know when I'm making more. And until next time, guys, stay safe, enjoy the game, and I'll see you in the next one.